People always say, have a backup plan. But what if that backup plan is exactly what's keeping you from going all in? No plan B doesn't mean being reckless. It means betting on yourself so fully that failure isn't the end. It's a redirection. Because you can pivot without giving up. Welcome to the bench session, where we unload the weight one session at a time. I'm Juan, and this is a space for real talk. The kind that doesn't always make it into group chats or gym conversations. There's no guests, there's no filters, it's just me, a mic, and my truth. Let's get into it, shall we? Welcome back, everybody. Today, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite topics. It's having no plan B. And no, I don't mean the pill. I mean an actual plan B. Get your minds out of the gutter. Wear a condom. Because if you consciously prepare to fail and preparing to fall back on something, you're never fully going to lean into what you're trying to do. Right? But I also want to make something clear. No plan B doesn't mean you can't pivot. It means you stay true to the mission, even if the route changes. And what do I mean by route changing? Shit happens, right? Life happens. Sometimes we have to do things that we say we wouldn't do. So, have you guys ever heard the term, there's no good plan B? And if you think about it, that's actually 100% true. There is no good plan B, because if it was a good plan B, it would be a plan A. So plan B kills plan A. When you have a safety net, you're going to use it. You'll subconsciously hold yourself back thinking, if this doesn't work, I can always just go back to doing the other thing. But that mindset keeps you halfway committed, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. True growth happens when you remove the option to quit. Burn the boats, make it impossible to retreat. That's when you see what you're truly made of. And there's a difference between pivoting and quitting. Like I said, we can pivot because shit's going to happen. Now, this is where a lot of people will get it twisted. Having no plan B doesn't mean you ignore reality. It means you stay committed to your goal, not the method to how to reach that goal. Quitting is giving up on that goal. Pivoting, though, that's changing the strategy, just changing the route that you're taking to that goal. The mission stays the same. The execution evolves. So let's take it back to a gym aspect here. Think about your training. You have one goal. Get stronger, get better. But the workout plan? Right. That changes, doesn't it? If your shoulder hurts, you pivot. You make adjustments to that movement, not the mission. If you stay with the same workout routine for a long time, you start realizing it doesn't work, and what do? You pivot. Same thing in life. If the path you're on isn't working, don't scrap the goal, just adapt and find a new route forward. So when I first started this podcast and everything that I've been doing or trying to do, I had lost my job. I wanted to have the freedom. I wanted to do this. I wanted to do the YouTube stuff. I wanted to do everything I could in order to not go back to the 9-to-5 grind, because I wasn't about that life anymore. I was not happy there. And I always thought that I can make this work. I always thought that I would have the ability to progress faster than I actually am progressing. So, and then, during the time I was off, I started other little ventures like the fitness coaching, and I thought that would help take off a little bit faster than it has. It really hasn't gone anywhere. Same thing with the firearms instruction business. It's slow building, but it's not sustainable for, my life, my bills, the shit that I got to do in order to keep the house, keep the car, keep this, right? So I had people always tell me that I needed a backup plan, but I didn't want to have a backup plan because I wanted to be all into this. And every time I stopped, I started thinking about a backup plan, I pushed this the stuff that I enjoy, the podcast, the YouTube, the everything. I pushed that aside to focus on having that backup plan in case this stuff failed. And I did tell myself that there was going to be no backup plan. And things changed a little bit. My mindset changed a little bit, but I'm not going to say I was holding back. I was having hope that everything I was doing was going to work for me, and it didn't. But what I also learned was that just because it didn't work out at this particular moment doesn't mean I have to give up on it. I have to pivot. I have to change directions, right? I have to figure out a different route to get to where I'm at. And unfortunately, that means that, I had to find a 9-to-5. And I will talk about more of that in my next episode. So having no plan B doesn't mean throwing all your stuff in the bag and saying, I'm moving to LA to be a YouTuber, or fuck this life, I'm moving to Texas. Right? It means you're fully committed to what you're trying to do, but you're not delusional about it. There's a big difference between being committed and being delusional. Okay, reality is, like I said, life happens, life changes, things change, circumstances shift. So sometimes you do have to pivot. The mission doesn't have to die when the method stops working. The key is knowing when to pivot with purpose. Don't pivot because it's hard. Pivot because you've learned something new. And only you will know what that is, right? So what is going on in your lives? What has stopped you from your goals? And you're using whatever happened to you in that process, whatever, hiccup you had along the route to your goal, whatever it is that you're using that as a excuse of quitting on your goal. Tell me about it. Put it down in the comments, send me a message, do it however you want to do it. All my social media stuff is out there. If there's anything I want you to take away from this, there's no plan B doesn't mean no options. It means you're committed to your vision and you're willing to adapt along the way in order to reach your goal. The difference between a winner and a quitter isn't luck. It's the refusal to stop. Burn the boats, pivot if you must, but never turn back. Keep going. Figure out a different route to reach your goal. Thanks for sitting with me today. If you've been holding back onto a backup plan, maybe it's time to let that backup plan go. Commit. Go all in. If the past changes, good. That's growth. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Same bench, same real talk. Stay grounded. Stay real.